My name's Ian Darling. I'm a documentary filmmaker. I'm Executive Director of Shark Island Institute and Chair of the Shark Island Foundation. My first encounter with philanthropy was in the 1960s, and our whole school got powdered milk for countries in Africa, and we thought we were doing the greatest thing. Little did we realise at the time that we were causing enormous damage to women and children in those countries. And I often ask the question, what's the least effective grant you've ever made? And I think the least effective grant I've ever made was my first one, because that powdered milk, when it was combined with the water over there, caused so many kids deaths and diarrhea, and mothers stopped breastfeeding, and it was something which had unintended consequences. We thought we were doing the right thing, but when many years later we actually saw what it was quite horrifying. So that was my sort of first encounter with philanthropy, and it wasn't effective. I think personally, in terms of trying to achieve a better outcome for women and girls, there's a few approaches. One of them was actually aligning with the Women Donors Network, Australians Investing in Women. That I think if you've got an organisation, you can get great leverage from simply supporting the capacity of that organisation. I think the biggest opportunity for philanthropy, and also Australians investing in women, is to bring more men into the conversation. There are many ways to do it. With my documentary lens on, I think there are so many great films that will educate us all about what still needs to be done. When I look at successful examples using the gender lens, a film called Invisible War comes to mind. It's a US-based film on sexual assaults in the military. And that film was made for about $500,000. They raised about $500,000 in outreach. And the effect of it was transformational. The filmmakers were so strategic. They said 8 people need to see this film for us to create social change. 5 of them were the heads of the military. Another one was Leon Panetta, the head of defense, the Vice President, Al Gore, and President Obama. They actually got to those 8 people within 6 months. They saw the film, they were horrified, and within 12 months, there were 32 new pieces of legislation that enshrined responses to assaults, and suddenly there was a whole code on how to deal with sexual assaults in the US military. People have estimated that if you were to hire lobbyists and have a whole advocacy campaign, it would have been $150 to $200 million to even get that attention. So with this $1 million film, the results are extraordinary. If you look at the documentary on Julia Gillard, Strong Female Lead, it's incredible to see that Australia's first woman Prime Minister is dealing with the level of misogyny that she is. When Julia Gillard was Prime Minister, I actually didn't really sense the degree of pushback and misogyny towards her. This is unbelievable. Why wasn't I aware of it? Why wasn't I speaking out? Possibly the most effective Prime Minister we've had, who got past so much legislation with a minority government, and we still denied her the right to lead. Advice I'd give to someone who's new in philanthropy: understand the importance of duration and give over many years to things that are working. Don't feel you have to keep changing track and tune every time. That if you found a great organisation that's looking after women and girls, stick with it. The value of your investment, the return on your social investment, is much higher by sticking with it and keeping the costs down for the organisation.